I was on dialysis. Now my kidney function is almost normal. My creatinine went from 12 to 2.1.
In this video, in a breakthrough study, a dialysis patient was able to bring his creatinine level from 12 to 2.1 using this natural remedy. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and today I want to share with you what's probably the most impressive breakthrough remedy on earth. A remedy that not just saved a chronic dialysis patient from the machine, and that brought his creatinine from 12 to 2.1. I mean, like as if that wasn't enough, the remedy also cured the patient from all of his symptoms for good. Now guys, those numbers are just incredible. Going from a creatinine of 12 to 2.1 is something I've never seen before in medical literature. So before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and to share it with a friend that needs some hope. Let's see immediately how this remedy works. This patient, a 40-year-old with chronic kidney disease, was having serious symptoms of kidney failure. He was having constant nausea and vomiting, and despite numerous dialysis sessions, his creatinine was always too high, causing him pain and discomfort. Yeah, even dialysis failed him. And don't think that's impossible, by the way, because you see, while some doctors will tell you that if your kidneys fail, dialysis will solve everything, that's usually not the case. Even while on dialysis, you will still need several medications. You will still need to see your doctor regularly, and most of all, you will always need to follow a renal diet. Otherwise, you will end up just like this patient. So imagine how he must have felt at just 40 years of age, completely forgotten by the healthcare system, completely left on his own. He was told that his only remaining option was a transplant that he was unable to afford. Now guys, the study we are looking at was published in October 2025. That's 2 years after the patient discontinued dialysis. So 2 years after stopping dialysis, no transplant, no stem cell therapy, no nothing, his creatinine was 2.1, which is just a bit higher than normal. He went from a creatinine so high, not even dialysis could manage it, to just above normal. We will see exactly how in a moment. Just a quick PSA before that. I just want to let you guys know that Rena Fiber is back in stock now. Rena Fiber is my fiber supplement made specifically to support and protect your kidneys. And I know a lot of you are already fans because you keep buying it faster than we can restock it. But it's finally back in stock now, and I couldn't be happier that you guys love it. Because Rena Fiber is a science-backed remedy that's making a difference for many patients. It's formulated to support gut health, reduce inflammation, and lower the toxic load on your kidneys. And it works. Frankly, I recently started to raise the dose I recommend to my patients up to 6 tablespoons a day. Because remember that the effect this supplement has is dose dependent. The more you take, the more toxins it gets rid of. 6 tablespoons a day, that really seems to be the sweet spot where you get all the benefits. And the only downside is having to take it separately from meals. Anyway, if your supply is running low, now it's time to restock it. Now guys, let's get back to the amazing case report we are examining today, because now the question is, what remedy can save a man when even dialysis failed? So, the patient from this case report is from India, and what they use to treat him are some remedies from Ayurveda. The main remedy here is called Punarnava. This is an herbal remedy which scientific name is Bohervia diffusa. Punarva was the foundation of the treatment that saved this 40-year-old from dialysis. In Ayurveda, Punarnava is considered a rejuvenator. What Western science says about this herb is that it's a natural detoxifier. It has anti-inflammatory properties, and most of all, it's a natural diuretic. And while this is a very ancient remedy, modern Ayurveda practitioners are using it not to replace conventional medicine, but to support it. In fact, to accommodate the needs of this patient, the remedy was administered at a lower dose than usual. The other main component of his treatment is a remedy called Gokshurari Gugulu, which is made from several very powerful herbs. In fact, in Ayurveda, like in most forms of herbal medicine, remedies are rarely used alone. Tribulus terrestris, or Gokshura in Hindi, is the main ingredient of Gokshurari Gugulu. This is a powerful anti-inflammatory with diuretic properties, and it's often used for the management of diabetes and gout. I will show you what's probably the most powerful herb that was used to save the patient from dialysis in a moment, because it's clear that the results obtained with these remedies was outstanding. In the words of the patient, after starting the treatment, hemodialysis became less frequent and eventually I no longer required it. Now guys, I know this sounds amazing, but wait a moment before rushing to the nearest herbal store to buy a bunch of Ayurvedic remedies, because here's the thing. While it's clear that these remedies work for this patient, they were not just administered randomly. He was prescribed a complete integrated treatment by licensed practitioners in an Ayurvedic hospital. Yes, they do exist. As you can see, in India, there are hospitals dedicated to managing kidney issues with Ayurveda. And this should tell you two very important things about the treatment that saved this man from dialysis. First, that some researchers and practitioners are working really hard to integrate traditional medicine with modern medicine. Because you see, you can't stop dialysis with just a couple of remedies, no matter how powerful they are. I mean, even patients who were taken off dialysis with renal fiber were started on a low-protein diet. This patient in particular was first started on the Ayurvedic treatment and on a specific diet. Then, he started making more and more urine and gradually required less and less dialysis. And they were monitoring him constantly. He wasn't left on his own anymore. It was an integrated approach. Second thing to learn here is that there is more to what saved this man from dialysis than just remedies. In fact, as we can read, the patient himself says that he was prescribed a strict diet that he also continued following after dialysis was stopped. No doubt that the diet played a crucial role here. So here's my point. Always make sure the approach you are being prescribed is tailored for your needs, be it Ayurveda if you are in India or a supplement renal diet if you are in a Western country. Be it Ayurveda if you are in India or a supplemented renal diet if you are in a Western country. It should be tailored for your needs. So now the question is, what kind of diet was used to get this patient to stop dialysis? The diet this man was prescribed is called Pathya Ahara. Sorry to all my Indian viewers if I'm mispronouncing stuff, by the way. Now, as the authors of the study point out, this can be translated into wholesome diet. And this diet, it's not just interesting because it helped a man go from dialysis to almost normal creatinine. This diet is very different from what most patients from Western countries are used to. Wholesome diet not only means a whole food diet. This is a diet that provides not just proper nutrition, but that also brings happiness to the life of the patient. And that's way more important than most people realize. Remember that a diet only works if you can actually follow it. Just printing a bunch of foods on a piece of paper never really helped anyone. So question, what foods saved this man from dialysis? One of the staples of his diet is the mung bean or green gram. And this is a real superfood. This legume, which can be prepared in several ways, has some remarkable health benefits Like many legumes, it's very rich in fiber and it's an antioxidant powerhouse. Never underestimate the power of antioxidants. Remember that the damage diabetes and other diseases due to the kidneys is mediated by free radicals. And the only thing that stands between you and free radicals are antioxidants. You need as many of them as possible from your diet if your goal is improving. Mung beans in particular are rich in polyphenols, very powerful kidney-saving antioxidants. For this reason, mung beans have also been studied as a way to fight diabetes. Now, something else peculiar about the mung bean is the amino acid profile. Mung beans have a more complete amino acid profile compared to most legumes. And that's important if you have CKD because you want the highest quality protein possible since you are going to eat very little of it. Because this patient was on a low protein diet, of course. He was already avoiding animal protein to begin with. In fact, he is from a part of India that's largely vegetarian. But as a part of his diet, he was told to limit protein intake even further. He was in fact told to avoid cheese in general and even paneer, a type of cheese that's very common in North Indian cuisine. The other staple of the diet that saved this man from dialysis is, surprisingly enough, white rice. And yeah, I don't usually recommend white rice to my patients, but they had their reason to use white rice in the diet of this particular patient. You see, Pathya Ahara diet this patient was prescribed focuses a lot on foods that are easy to digest, right? And if you think about it, this man really needed foods that are easy to digest. He wasn't receiving enough dialysis. And when that happens, toxins accumulate, causing symptoms such as nausea and loss of appetite. He needed a diet that first of all was able to give him enough calories without making these symptoms any worse. Now, something else in his diet that really helps protecting the kidneys are the vegetables. His Ayurvedic diet focuses a lot on pathya, wholesome vegetables, which traditionally include the gourd family. So let's talk about another superfood he is eating daily, the bottle gourd. This is a vegetable with health benefits that are taken very seriously in Ayurveda and holistic nutrition. The bottle gourd is light on the stomach, rich in fiber, and has a naturally soothing effect on the digestive tract. For a patient struggling with nausea, this is one of the best possible options. And the bottle gourd is also known to directly support kidney function, thanks to its diuretic properties. Yes, this vegetable works on multiple levels: digestion, hydration, weight, heart, and natural cleansing. That's how you help the kidneys improve. Now, these are just the staple foods he was eating regularly, but he can use them as a part of many different meals. And of course, many other staple vegetables of North Indian cuisine were included. Tinda or Indian round gourd, a soft textured and easy to digest gourd with plenty of antioxidants. Cauliflower is another staple here, and you can find it basically in any Western country as well. Just like cabbage and cucumber. Now, white radish, also known as moli or daikon, this is another staple of the Indian cuisine that has huge kidney protecting benefits. It boasts diuretic properties that directly help the kidneys while being low on the glycemic index. It's also an antioxidant powerhouse. Now, there is also a dietary supplement that really made a difference here. I will show it to you in a moment. But guys, please consider that these foods were chosen for a reason. They are the literal staples of the cuisine of the part of India this patient is from. Alright, they were chosen not just to nourish but to bring the patient happiness. So question, how does a diet focused on bringing happiness get you out of dialysis? So this man was prescribed a simple diet full of staple foods of his own culture, alright? A diet that basically just restricted his intake of protein, sodium, and foods that were too heavy to digest. What was left were simple foods from his own culture. But how can a diet like that get you out of dialysis, you ask? Well, because that's a diet that the patient can actually follow. Pay attention to this part. This is important. I still see healthcare professionals getting this all wrong today. The diet that saved this man It's not just well structured, it's also a diet that focuses on making the patient happy. And guys, following a diet that makes you happy is way more important than most people realize. Because here's the thing, we need to stop seeing diets as a quick fix. Eat exactly this meal every day at the same hour, they tell you. Those diets, they never work, and if you have CKD, the rebound can be incredibly bad for your kidneys. And yet, most renal diets today are so repetitive, even your dog wouldn't beg for scraps. Ever heard the term diet fatigue? That's what you get when you have to wait and eat the same foods every day. This is why I try to show you as many new foods to include in your diet as possible here. Because having a diet that feels like Groundhog Day, except Bill Murray isn't there to make it funny, is not just bad for your soul. It can seriously harm your kidneys. Please let that sink in for a moment. And now it's time to see what supplement helped this 40-year-old man get off dialysis. Because if you thought this man's diet was rich enough in antioxidants, well, think again. Getting off dialysis, it's all about antioxidants. In fact, he was also prescribed a food supplement called Chyawanprash Avaleha. This is a traditional Ayurvedic herbal jam with fresh Indian gooseberry, amla, as its primary ingredient. I talk about amla in some of my videos in the past because this fruit is so rich in antioxidants. It's considered one of the most potent foods in Ayurveda. It has also been called a superfruit in medical literature. The Indian gooseberry is in fact so rich in antioxidants, it has been used to prevent contrast-induced acute kidney injury. This is relevant here because the way contrast damages the kidneys is through oxidative stress. Yeah, just like diabetes. So this fruit, the Indian gooseberry, it's so rich in antioxidants, it can stop the contrast from damaging the kidneys. Amazing! And it absolutely played a crucial role in saving this patient because this is not the first time we see dialysis patients getting to stop it with antioxidants. In a different study, 9 dialysis patients were able to get off dialysis just by taking CoQ10, a powerful antioxidant. Now guys, while you can get CoQ10 and many other antioxidants from my renal multivitamin Rena Best, which is 100% safe for CKD patients in all the stages, you have to be careful if you want to try Chyawanprash. This food supplement is often very high in sugar and it's not easy to find a sugar-free preparation. Many brands lie. This is an example. I was going to recommend this brand but don't buy it. They wrote sugar-free in the description and then they added a whopping 33.7 grams of sugar for 100 grams of product. Yeah, I had to double check this. I thought I was taking crazy pills, but it's true. They say sugar-free in description and their product is basically all sugar. So guys, if any of you knows about better brands that sell Chyawanprash, let me know in the comment section and be careful. So my advice here is to add more antioxidants to your diet naturally and to take Rena Best every morning to get the CoQ10, the tocopherols, zinc, selenium, and many more natural antioxidants. And Rena Best is sugar-free but for real. And this is all for today. If you want to see more kidney-saving foods, my video up here is for you. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.